Namaste, you're on the Nation at 5. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting with the Mega CNN News 18 exclusive. CNN News 18 and your channel has been at the forefront of leading this fight against this conversion mafia and the conversion racket. We started with Jalandhar, we went on to Tirunelveli. Then, now we've got instances that have come to the fore from Palghar in Maharashtra and Dhanbad in Jharkhand. Shocking details that have come to the light with demands on ground growing that there needs to be a pan-India solution to this problem and an anti-conversion law needs to be firmly in place. There needs to be more states that will follow, and the centre has also needs to draft an act. That's the call that's coming from ground when increasingly this menace is surfacing at various parts of our country. Let's start with the first instance that is coming in, rackets that are coming in, this breaking news that's just coming through. After Jalandhar, Tirunelveli, now it's Palghar and Dhanbad. The rackets in Jharkhand and Maharashtra, the details that are coming through. Christian missionaries are under the scanner of the state police. In both cases, the cops have initiated probe into inducement in the Katras area. These are the details that are coming through from the Katras area in Dhanbad district of Jharkhand. Families allegedly induced to convert for monetary benefits. There is a connection of these people coming in somewhere from the state of Tamil Nadu who are actually housed there and going from house to house and trying to allure and via inducements getting people to convert. And their target is the Vanvasi. The Vanvasis are the ones, the tribals are under the radar both in Jharkhand and in Maharashtra. The locals have protested demanding action against the missionaries. The families were allegedly assured money for medical treatments. This is what happened in Katras region in Dhanbad district of Jharkhand. Now let's try and tell you what happened in the Dahanu area of the Palghar district. Complaint against induced conversions in Dahanu. Cops have arrested 4 Christian missionaries. Reports of induced conversions. Racket allegedly in Talasari, Jawahar and Vikramgarh region. Hindu groups have demanded an anti-conversion law in the state. We'll try and check if we have... Herman is now joining us live from Palghar. He's gone to that entire region in Dahanu area, in Palghar district in Dahanu. Herman, what's the allegation the locals are making? Have there been arrests also that have been made now?
Well, Anand, yes, I'm right now in Palghar district, which has a lot of, many tribal hamlets. And on Friday, it was somewhere in the afternoon when 4 Christian missionaries entered the home of an elderly tribal woman and they tried to convert her. That is when she raised an alarm and she gathered some of the villagers and a phone call was made to the nearest police station, which is the Dahanu police station. When the cops arrived there, they found that there were 4 missionaries who were there inside. And they had allegedly asked the woman to move to convert her faith to Christianity, and the excuse that was given to her was that in case if she had any sort of ailments, all of them would be cured. But when the cops arrived there, when there were several other neighbors arrived there, what they also found was that they were carrying along a lot of cash with them. Now the allegation is that she was forcefully either being converted by giving the excuse, stating that in case if she was converted, then she would be free of health problems, and there was also the inducement of cash being offered as a prize. Now, Anand, in this entire region, this sort of racket, there have been a number of such cases coming forward, but formally these 4 are under arrest right now. Many Hindu groups have been asking for the anti-conversion law to be put into act, but here that we've been seeing, I've been moving across from one village to another, and there's no great connectivity. If one looks at them, they're clearly very far away from the mainstream, and that is the advantage being taken by such groups, which is what we've been seeing in this case. But as far as arrests, yes, 4 of the missionaries have been arrested. But what we're also picking up is that in several of these tribal hamlets, you have them visiting time and often. But probably this is one of the rare instances where you have an arrest taking place, because either way, in other instances, we have seen them getting away with this sort of a racket, Anand.
Yes, the fact is that it's the Vanvasis, the tribals who are being targeted, specifically targeted. Inducements are being given. Ladies and gentlemen, today 2 opposite sides of the country. Jharkhand here in the east, Maharashtra in the west. It is Dahanu there in Maharashtra, and this is Dhanbad, Dahanu in Maharashtra and Dhanbad in Jharkhand. Both places, the modus operandi remains the same. Inducements are being given. It is the Vanvasis who are being lured. They are being lured with money and with the fact that there are these Changai Sabhas which are being conducted, where these fake kind of miracles are being also enacted by people, and they are having a free run, these Changai Sabhas. Sanjay Gupta also joining us. Sanjay, what happened in the Katras region in Dhanbad?
यहाँ जो धनबाद जिला है इसके अंतर्गत कतरास थाना आती है और यहाँ एक मालकेरा करके जगह है 5 नंबर छाताबाद। यहाँ पर ईसाई धर्म के जो लोग हैं वो आ रहे हैं और प्रार्थना सभा कर रहे हैं और सबसे बड़ी बात है कि हिंदू परिवार के दर्जनों लोगों को उस प्रार्थना सभा में शामिल करवा रहे हैं और इसके बाद जो है स्थानीय जो लोग हैं उसमें हंगामा हुआ और थाना में बात गई। लेकिन जब थाना की बात आ रही है तो थाना अब तक आवेदन मिलने के बाद भी कोई कार्रवाई नहीं कर रही है। केवल इस थाना के जो एसपी हैं, जिले के जो एसपी हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि एक आवेदन आया है और उसके बाद ही वो कार्रवाई करेंगे, जांच करेंगे। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात है कि अभी तक जो पुलिस की जांच है वो एक तरफा हो रही है। जो हिंदू परिवार इस मामले को बताए थे उन हिंदू परिवारों को अब जो है पुलिस के द्वारा तंग किया जा रहा है, उन्हीं लोगों को टारगेट किया जा रहा है। जबकि जो पादरी 80 किलोमीटर दूर से इस कतरास थाना क्षेत्र में आए थे उनको अब तक किसी तरह की ना तो पूछताछ की गई है, ना ही अन्य किसी बारे में कहा गया है। तो इसे लेकर यहाँ के स्थानीय विधायक भी जो हैं तो बार बार कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ के जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है वो भी जो है सो इस्लामीकरण और ईसाईकरण और कसाई की तरफ जा रहे हैं। यहाँ पर गौ हत्या हो या धर्म परिवर्तन, ये सब सारी चीजें चल रही है, लेकिन जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है इसे लेकर कोई गंभीरता नहीं दिखा रहे हैं।
संजय, आप कह रहे हैं कि जिन्होंने कंप्लेंट किया अब उनसे सवाल किए जा रहे हैं, जिन्होंने कहा कि उनके साथ जबरन धर्म परिवर्तन की कोशिश की जा रही है, उन हिंदू परिवारों को ही अब सवाल पूछा जा रहा है। तो ये लोग कहां से आए हैं? ये जो ईसाईकरण कर रहे हैं वहां कतरास में, ये कहां से आए हैं? ये वहीं झारखंड के हैं या किसी दूसरे राज्य से वहां पर आए हैं?
ये धनबाद और बंगाल के बॉर्डर जगह पे चिरकुंडा करके जगह, और वहाँ के एक पादरी जो है 80 किलोमीटर दूर आ रहे हैं और यहाँ पर प्रार्थना सभा कर रहे हैं। सबसे बड़ी बात है कि इन लोगों का टारगेट जो है वो SC ST और गरीब तबके के लोग हैं, जिनको कहीं ना कहीं खाने पीने की दिक्कत होती है। और यही कारण है कि उनको सबसे बड़ी बात है कि जब हमने 2-3 लोगों से बात की तो उन्होंने साफ तौर पर कहा कि 15 लाख रुपए को उन्हें प्रलोभन दिया गया है। यहाँ तक कि एक परिवार को ये भी कहा गया कि उनकी मदर का किडनी खराब है तो उसे भी जो है वो चेन्नई अस्पताल में इलाज करवाएंगे। ऐसे प्रलोभन के साथ में प्रार्थना सभा में शामिल करवाया जा रहा है और इसके बाद धर्म परिवर्तन का एक खेल चल रहा है। लेकिन जो स्थानीय प्रशासन है उसके तरफ से अब तक उन ईसाई मिशनरियों पर कार्रवाई को लेकर कोई पहल नहीं की गई है। वहां के 2-3 युवकों को ही उल्टा हिरासत में प्रशासन के द्वारा लिया गया, उनसे ही सवाल जवाब किया जा रहा है। उनको ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि आप धर्म के ठेकेदार बने, आप धर्म के रक्षक बने। तो ये सब चीजें जब हो रही है तो इससे लेकर स्थानीय जनप्रतिनिधि जो यहाँ के ढुल्लू महतो हैं उन्होंने कहा कि इन सभी आवाजों को जब हमने विधानसभा में उठाया था तो उन्हें सस्पेंड किया गया था। और यहाँ के साथ साथ धनबाद के भी जो विधायक हैं राज सिन्हा, उन्होंने भी कहा कि यहाँ पर नमाज रूम बनाया जाता है, विधानसभा में इस्लामीकरण हो रहा है, स्कूलों में संडे के जगह में फ्राइडे को छुट्टी दी जा रही है। तो कहीं ना कहीं ये सरकार की सह पर ही प्रशासन काम कर रही है और जो हिंदू परिवार है, हिंदू लोग हैं, उनके धर्म को लेकर अब संकट आ रहा है। तो इसकी आवाज बीजेपी उठाएगी, लगातार उठा रही है। और चाहे
राजनीति अपनी तरफ, लेकिन यहाँ पर सोशली ग्राउंड पर जो चल रहा है वो क्या सही मायने में जायज है या नाजायज है? ये कन्वर्जन माफिया काम कर रही है कि नहीं? पुलिस आप कह रहे हैं जिन परिवारों ने कंप्लेंट किया उन्हीं के खिलाफ अब एक्शन लेने में लगी हुई है, ये आप कह रहे हैं। वी आर ऑल्सो गेटिंग लॉट ऑफ इनपुट्स फ्रॉम दहानू. We will keep putting out those inputs as and to when it is coming. This story just coming to light, and we've sent our team on ground to investigate, and we are getting you all the reactions one by one. For the moment, we'll continue to focus on Dhanbad, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Nation at 5, again, where a conversion racket is being alleged. These are the voices that we have got for you. There is Dhullu Mahato, who's the MLA of that area. There is Raj Sinha, who's the MLA of Dhanbad. And we also have the SP, rural of in that region, that is Rishma Rameshan. Let's listen into all of them.
जब से यह सरकार आई है झारखंड के अंदर, जेएमएम कांग्रेस और आरजेडी के गठबंधन वाली सरकार, तब से यह मनोबल काफ़ी बढ़ गया है। और आप लोग को देखा होगा कि हम लोग विधानसभा के अंदर भी गौ हत्या बंद करो, धर्मांतरण कानून कड़ाई से लागू करो, इसके अलावा नमाज कक्ष कभी बना दिया, झारखंड राज्य का इस्लामीकरण बंद करने की हम लोगों ने मांग किया। तो ये तो सरकार अपने राह पर चल रही है। ईसाई कसाई हम लोग लगातार विरोध कर रहे हैं। और ये जो है रघुवर दास जी ने धर्मांतरण कानून को ये किया था, लेकिन यह सरकार उसको पालन नहीं कर रही है। इसे मेरा सलाह माने प्रशासन के लोग या चेतावनी माने, जो भी मानना है, लेकिन यह समय दूर नहीं कि इनके ऐसे लोगों के सत्ता से ये लोग बाहर होने वाले हैं और चुन चुन कर ऐसे लोगों पर कार्रवाई किया जाएगा जो धर्मांतरण कानून को नहीं लागू कर रहे हैं।
देखिए, झारखंड मुक्ति मोर्चा कांग्रेस के सरकार बनने के बाद हिंदू खतरे की ओर बढ़ रहा है। उनकी स्थिति बहुत दयनीय होती जा रही है। आज खुलेआम गो हत्या हो रही है, आज इस्लामीकरण बढ़ रहा है, आज हिंदू धर्म के लोगों को लालच लोभ देकर मतलब धर्म परिवर्तन करवाया जा रहा है। और जो हमारे हिंदू भाई बहनों को जो धर्म परिवर्तन करवा रहा है, लालच देकर लोभ देकर, इस पर कार्रवाई सरकार करे, अन्यथा जिस प्रकार से लोगों का मन में गुस्सा आक्रोशित बढ़ता जा रहा है, अगर कहीं न कहीं इस तरह का कोई बात हो जाए तो इसका जवाबदेही सरकार होगा, इसका जवाबदेही प्रशासन होगा।
एक लिखित शिकायत पुलिस के पास भी मिला है। पुलिस ने संज्ञान लिया है इस बात का। तो जांच होगा, पहले जांच के विषय है, जांच के बाद ही कुछ इसमें कार्रवाई होगी। जांच में जो मैटर सामने आएगा उसके बाद ही कुछ कार्रवाई होगा। लिखित एक शिकायत मिला है कतरास थाना में, उसी का जांच हो रहा है।
संजय, मैं जल्दी से आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि जो मेन कंप्लेनेंट्स हैं उनसे आपकी बात हुई? अभी फिलहाल वो कौन है, वो लोग जो धर्मांतरण करने की कोशिश कर रहे थे? क्या उन पर कोई निगरानी रखी गई है कि उन्हें खुली छूट दी गई है कि वो कहीं भी आ जा सकते हैं? वो अभी भी कातरास में है कि नहीं?
घटना के 2-3 दिन बीत गए हैं, लेकिन जो आवेदन है वो बस अब थाने की जो है फाइलों के पर ही सिमट के रह गई है। अब तक उस मामले में जो पीड़ित पक्ष है, शिकायत करता है, जो उसके तरफ से उन लोगों से कोई पूछताछ नहीं किया गया। वहाँ के जो युवा है, जो सूत्र हमें बता रहे हैं, जिस दिन ये घटना हुई थी उसी दिन वहाँ के पुलिस जो है तो उन्हीं लड़कों को जो है धमकाने का प्रयास किए। तो कहीं ना कहीं एक तरफा कार्रवाई हो रही, लोगों में आक्रोश है। इसे लेकर विश्व हिंदू परिषद हो या बजरंग दल हो या स्थानीय जो युवा जो कि अब कहीं ना कहीं एक धर्म को लेकर जागरूक हुए हैं, तो उन लोगों में गुस्सा है। और यही कारण है कि अब लोगों में उबाल है। हो सकता है कि 15 अगस्त के बाद कोई रणनीति बने इसे लेकर, लेकिन फिलहाल जो ये ईसाई मिशनरी है उन पर अब तक पुलिस के द्वारा कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हुई है, ना ही उन लोगों से अब तक पूछताछ करने की जरूरत पुलिस ने अब तक समझी है।
जी संजय, धन्यवाद आपके इनपुट्स के लिए। मैं जरा नाउ फ्रॉम धनबाद लेट्स गो अक्रॉस टू दहानू एंड Herman is live with us. Herman, you have spoken to some of the locals, the complainants. What is it that they are alleging? We are going to play out some of the reactions that have come in and the claims that have come in. Which are the groups that stepped up? Can you take us through what exactly happened? How did this matter come to light? How did the cops intervene, and why these 4 people have been arrested, and who are these 4 who have been arrested? Where are they from? Do we have any of these details?
Well, they are believed to be, from an organization from Pune, Anand. But this happened on Friday afternoon when all of a sudden they entered a house of a tribal woman who is an elderly woman, and they tried to force her to convert to the Christianity faith. But at that point in time, she raised an alarm. So the villagers gathered. They made a few calls to a few local Hindu organizations who came there to her rescue. And when the crowds had swelled up, a call was made to the Dahanu police station. Upon which the police there reached the spot. When they tried to investigate, they found out that besides religious articles, there was also large sums of money. Now, at that point, the police asked the woman as to, what was why was it that, did she invite these missionaries? She said no, they decided to come there on her own. They tried to force her to convert, is what she alleges, stating that all of her health problems would go away in case if she decides to convert her faith. But the fact of the matter is that there were large amounts of cash also that was found from these 4 missionaries. Dahanu is such an area. It is cut off from the mainstream Mumbai. On the outskirts, you have one village that is at least 50 to 60 kilometers away away from the next. It is, these sort of stories have definitely come forward in the past too. We have heard it. Several organizations like Hindu Jan Jagriti Samiti have stepped forward. But this is probably one of the first times that one is looking that a formal arrest has taken place. Now, the key question that the Hindu right-wing organizations have been asking, and rightly so, is that in case if the Catholic missionaries, they do want to help people, they can do so. They can offer them their medical help and other things, etc. But what is the extreme need of asking them to forcefully convert? What is the guarantee that was given to this woman under the false pretext saying that in case if she converted, she would not have any sort of health problems? There were certain sort of questions by the investigating police team too, but they did not respond, which is one of the grounds upon which they have been now formally arrested, and the investigation is on to try and find out how large is this racket, because as I was pointing, the Palghar district has a large number of the tribals and Adivasis who live here and who have been given this sort of they have been either it is the health options, or it is some other freebies, or even money and even education that is given to them on the pretext of forcefully converting. And therefore one is looking at probably one of the rarest times where you have actually a formal arrest taking place, Anand, because in the past, yes, there have been murmurs, there have been incidents taking place, but in this context, probably a formal arrest for the first time.
Right. Thank you for your inputs, Herman. We'll keep coming back to you. We're getting more inputs that you're sending us from there, and it's being processed here back behind me in the newsroom, and we'll try and put it out. A lot of the reactions are in Marathi, so we'll try and get you some of those reactions, what the locals are claiming. The Hindu Jan Jagriti Sabha has actually come out and very strongly demanded an anti-conversion law in the state of Maharashtra, just like it is in place in Karnataka, in Uttar Pradesh, and some other states in the country. And many are saying there needs to be a pan-India law as far as this entire conversion racket is concerned to counter this. It's a pan-India problem, like we are showing to you. Dhanbad to Dahanu, this remains the issue. Let's go across to our guests this evening who've been looking at the story and also been waiting patiently. Thank you for your patience. Nirva Mehta, Swapnil Kothari and Rahul Ishwar. Nirva, I'm going to start with you. You guys at Op India have also tracked this, this menace that is the conversion racket and the conversion mafia. One aspect which is also coming in is this entire miracle workshops or these Changai Sabhas which happen, where these fake miracles take place and this brazen inducement also comes through. In both cases, the modus operandi is the same. Two different corners of the country and in remote areas where they are targeting Vanvasis with monetary inducements and telling them that we will work miracles, we will cure you.
Right. So it's not just the inducing, the luring them with money and other things that come with it. In fact, there was this one incident in November last year where about 100 tribals from this very small village near Bharuch, they were converted to Islam, and they were over and above offering them money and other things like job and marriage and other things. They were also told about how Hinduism is not a real religion. So they were filled with poison against Hinduism, against the Hindu gods and goddesses. One of the major accused in the case, one Haji Abdullah, he was accused of telling them that Shiv jaise koi hota nahi hai, that how if your God is if God exists, then how come their prasad has ants after some time, and if your God is real, then why did he kill his own son, or why did he put a head of an elephant on his own son? Why didn't he bring him back to life? So these tribals, they were told about things like these, and then that's how they were asked to convert to Islam, which was told them that is the one true religion. And all of a sudden there is a prayer room there's a namaz room, ibadat khana comes up in a place where there is not one single pakka house. So, and then the conversion, the roots were traced to London. Then also the tentacles reached to the UP conversion racket, which were broke earlier in June last year. So all these things, it's a huge, it's an industry so to say. And it's a menace. And while there are a lot of arrests have been made, but is that even enough? Because as we see the menaces, there is no end to it.
And there is huge amounts of money that is coming through. How do they have access to so much of funds which they can just dole out and induce? That's another cause for concern. We've got a reaction coming in from the sub-inspector of the Dahanu police station, Vivek Narvekar. Well,
दिनांक 5/8/2022 रोजी दुपारी साधारण 1:15 वाजताच्या सुमारास
We'll come back to this. We'll come back to this in just a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Going across to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's speaking right now.
का अपमान न करें। साथियों, कुछ राजनीतिक दलों की स्वार्थ नीति से अलग हमारी सरकार सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास के मंत्र पर काम करती रहेगी। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि विकास के लिए सकारात्मक विश्वास की ऊर्जा इसी तरह पैदा होती रहेगी। एक बार फिर हरियाणा के कोटि कोटि साथियों को, किसान और पशुपालक बहन भाइयों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। कल रक्षाबंधन का पवित्र त्योहार भी है। भाई बहन के स्नेह के प्रतीक इस पर्व पर हर भाई अपना कर्तव्य निभाने का संकल्प दोहराता है। कल एक नागरिक के तौर पर भी हमें देश के प्रति अपने कर्तव्य निभाने का संकल्प दोहराना है। इसी कामना के साथ मैं अपनी बात समाप्त करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Well, big development this one, ladies and gentlemen. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while inaugurating the ethanol plant, the 2G ethanol plant, and dedicating it to the public in Panipat, he has now come out and taken on those who are practicing the politics of freebies and selfish politics. He has said that people who have a tendency to avoid problems by adopting shortcuts for political selfishness, they cannot solve problems permanently. Those adopting shortcuts may get accolades for some time, political gains may come, but the problem does not subside. So he is very clearly going against this Revdi Rivaj. A day after Arvind Kejriwal took him on and tried to justify freebies, and today said that even Yogi Adityanath has countered the Prime Minister. That's a jibe coming in from Arvind Kejriwal. PM Narendra Modi saying that this is selfish politics. If there is selfishness in politics, then anyone can come and announce to give free petrol and diesel. Such steps take away their rights from our children, prevent the country from becoming self-reliant. Such selfish policies will only increase the burden of the honest taxpayer of the country, because net what you're doing as a state or as a leader is taking from one pocket and putting it in the other. So while taking from the other, so that's the whole aspect of Revdiya Patna, which Prime Minister had very clearly said that this is a policy that we should not have. Pallavi Ghosh with us on the phone line. Pallavi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi very clearly, unequivocally taking on those who are practicing this freebie politics or freebie culture.
Yes, and Anand, despite the fact that I think it was yesterday or day before, where Arvind Kejriwal defended himself by saying that if you give poor free electricity or free health infrastructure, that should not be seen as a freebie or as a kind of an inducement to get votes. So in this war of words over Revdi and freebies lies that age-old debate, is that what makes good politics? Does that make good economics? And why is it that there should not actually be proper on-ground economic and social development where no political parties can actually use this freebie culture to try and score political brownie points? And if you look in the midst of all this, Anand, very quickly, you have Arvind Kejriwal going back to Gujarat and also making a series of announcements. So it's a very interesting, strong take coming in from the Prime Minister, also making the point that his party has never believed in giving freebies. His party believes in having an on-ground, solid social as well as economic development.
True, we'll play out those sound bites in just a bit, Pallavi. Let's listen into the part where he's taking on this politics of selfishness, this Revdi culture.
राजनीतिक स्वार्थ के लिए शॉर्टकट अपनाकर समस्याओं को टाल देने की प्रवृत्ति होती है, वो कभी समस्याओं का स्थायी समाधान नहीं कर सकते। शॉर्टकट अपनाने वालों को कुछ समय के लिए वाहवाही भले मिल जाए, राजनीतिक फायदा भले हो जाए, लेकिन समस्या कम नहीं होती। इसलिए ही मैं कहता हूं कि शॉर्टकट अपनाने से शॉर्ट सर्किट अवश्य होता है।
I have Mr. Amit Malviya with us on the phone line. Amit ji, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi very clearly coming out and challenging those who are practicing this politics of freebies. Freebie culture, revdiyan baatna, he said this is selfishness. It can give you short-term gains, but it does not solve the problem. But on the other hand, you have the likes of Arvind Kejriwal openly backing freebie culture, saying if I give free bijli to the socially backward or economically backward, what's wrong? Why shouldn't we give those people free food, free bijli and free medicines?
Anand, we have to understand that there is a difference between revdi culture and welfare state. There's a difference between freebies and there's a difference between providing state support to people who need it. People like Arvind Kejriwal offer free services to everybody irrespective of their social, financial or economic status. That puts huge amount of pressure on the institutions and on the revenue structure of any state. Whether you look at the electricity department of Delhi, it is reeling under huge debt and overdues. You look at water, which Arvind Kejriwal claims to be giving free. There is a CAG report which says that 88% of the unauthorized colonies do not have piped water. There is no sewage facility. So forget free water. People don't have water in this city, and Arvind Kejriwal claims to be offering it free. Similarly, every institution, every public sector unit, whether it is a Jal board, whether it is electricity department, other units are all running in huge losses because of this revdi culture. Eventually, these organizations will collapse. People will lose their jobs. So Arvind Kejriwal may win an election or two, but he will ruin Delhi. In the last 8 years that he's been the chief minister, Delhi has seen no new construction, no new flyovers, no new infrastructure development, no new buses. Every day you go on the street and a DTC bus has been broken down and people are standing. So what good is the promise of a freebie culture if it is not delivered? If governance is compromised and the basic right to life is compromised, people are dying because they are drinking unhealthy, contaminated water. You would rather give them clean water to drink instead of offering free and not being able to offer anything at all. The Prime Minister is making this point repeatedly. It is not about giving things free. It is about ensuring that you give people certain respect and dignity, and you give state support to people who deserve it, who need it, not fund consumption.
Right. No, the other aspect is he's also taken a huge jibe at Kala Jadoo. He said कि हमारे देश में कुछ लोग हैं जो नकारात्मकता के भंवर में फंसे हुए हैं, निराशा में डूबे हुए हैं, सरकार के खिलाफ झूठ पे झूठ बोलने के बाद भी जनता जनार्दन ऐसे लोगों पर भरोसा करने को तैयार नहीं है। ऐसी हताशा में ये लोग अब काले जादू की तरफ मुड़ते नजर आ रहे हैं। अभी हमने 5 अगस्त को देखा कि कैसे काले जादू को फैलाने का प्रयास किया गया। ये लोग सोचते हैं कि काले कपड़े पहनकर उनकी निराशा हताशा का काल समाप्त हो जाएगा, लेकिन उन्हें पता नहीं है कि कितनी ही झाड़ फूंक कर लें, कितना ही काला जादू कर लें, अंधविश्वास कर लें, जनता का विश्वास अब उन पर दोबारा कभी नहीं बन पाएगा। दिस इज अ स्ट्रेट डायरेक्ट अटैक ऑन द ब्लैक फ्राइडे प्रोटेस्ट बाय द कांग्रेस पार्टी. Amit Malviya.
Well, Anand, the fact is that the Congress party indulged in this theatrics, a fashion show of sorts on the day which was actually meant to commemorate the Shilanyas of Ram Janmabhoomi. But having said that, the opposition today lacks substantive criticism of this government. It is one thing to protest. It is another to make sense of that protest. The opposition remains rudderless. It remains directionless because it has nothing substantive to criticize this government on. They speak about economy, they speak about employment, they speak about inflation. Despite the 2 years of pandemic, despite the global war, despite the wrecked supply chain across the world, the country has done well to manage some of our economic parameters and indicators. There is a lot of economic activity. India is today one of the best performing large emerging market countries in the world. Now people see this. They feel the vibration of active, chugging along economy in their lives. So when opposition goes out and makes these unsubstantiated claims, people don't take it seriously. And that is why, despite all the Black Friday protests that the Congress and the opposition may want to indulge in, the truth is that people look at them as those performing for the cameras and don't take them seriously beyond that. For any government, it is the intent that is important, and nobody can fault Prime Minister Modi and his government's intent to build India over the next 25 years so that we have what he calls as Amrit Kal, India's moment under the sun where it regains its lost glory. And that is what the PM's vision is. And you compare it to the opposition, they completely doff out.
Well, I have Mr. Nasir Hussain of the Congress party also. Mr. Nasir Hussain, Prime Minister saying 5th August, we saw the Kala Jadoo, Jharkhand, no matter how much they try this, it's not going to work. Direct jibe at the Congress's Black Friday protest.
The most unfortunate thing for the country is when the whole country is reeling under the pressure of inflation, high prices, petrol, diesel, gas ke daam, GST on atta, chini, doodh, dahi, good and all those items. And when the debate was forced on the parliament after 2.5 weeks of agitation and protest by the opposition parties, the Prime Minister of the country failed to be present in any of the debates in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. He neither participated in the debate and discussion, neither he discussed issues there, neither he gave any relief to the people of the country. It was the finance minister who was led to do the talking and try and convince the people. She neither accepted that there is any kind of inflation, neither she accepted there is GST levied, neither accepted that there is unemployment or poverty in the country. The entire government was in a denial mode. And then the Prime Minister tries to speak to the parliamentarians from public platforms, not from the parliament. This is the most unfortunate part of Indian parliamentary democracy, especially during the times of Modi era. This is how he tries to address the parliament. That shows his scant respect to the parliament. And these kind of jadoo tona, black magic, shakan, that he becoming the Prime Minister will bring good vastu to the country. All these things can only spoken by a person from the BJP itself, because no other parties get to this level.
Well, Mr. Nasir Hussain, let me get Amit Malviya to react to your response to the Prime Minister. Well, we lost Amit Malviya, but Nasir Hussain ji, this is what he said, and I want your reaction on this. He said, अभी हमने 5 अगस्त को देखा कि कैसे काले जादू को फैलाने का प्रयास किया गया. ये लोग सोचते हैं कि काले कपड़े पहनकर उनकी निराशा हताशा का काल समाप्त हो जाएगा, लेकिन उन्हें पता नहीं कि वो कितनी ही झाड़ फूंक कर लें, कितना ही काला जादू कर लें, अंधविश्वास कर लें, जनता का विश्वास अब उन पर दोबारा कभी नहीं बन पाएगा.
अंधविश्वास की सरकार, दिया जलाने की, थाली पीटने की सरकार, बाहर निकल के चिल्लाने की सरकार, गो करुणा गो चिल्लाने की सरकार तो भाजपा की सरकार है. अगर कोई जादू टोना में अगर बिलीव करता है तो वो भाजपा और भाजपा के नेता में बिलीव करते हैं. आज भी जो है वो देश के गरीब जनता को वो जितने भी विपक्ष के द्वारा उठाए गए मुद्दे और सवालों का जवाब आज भी वो दे नहीं रहे. जवाब से वो दूर भाग रहे हैं, पार्लियामेंट से दूर भाग रहे हैं. पार्लियामेंट में ना तो आके जवाब दिए, ना पब्लिक प्लेटफॉर्म से जवाब दे रहे हैं. इस तरीके के आलतू फालतू बातों से जो लोगों का, खासकर गरीबों का पेट नहीं भरने वाला है, गरीबों को रोजगार नहीं मिलने वाली है. जिस तरह से महंगाई चरम सीमा पे है, उसके बारे में डिस्कस करने के लिए तो वो आते नहीं. इस तरीके के बात, इस तरीके के अपोजिशन पार्टियों के खिलाफ सरकास्टिक बात करने के लिए वो चले आते हैं. देश देख रहा है, देश के लोग देख रहे हैं, आवाम देख रही है कि क्या हो रहा है. और जगह जगह इनको जो शिकस्त मिला, बिहार से शुरू हुआ और हर स्टेट में यही इनको मिलने वाला है.
Nasirji, please stay with me. Shehzad Poonawalla has been hearing you. This is the Congress's response to the Prime Minister, who's called out the Kala Jadoo kind of politics that the Congress attempted with the Black Friday protest. Shehzad Poonawalla. Mr. Nasir Hussain saying it is the BJP which believes in Andhvishwas and Kala Jadoo.
देखिए, नासिर हुसैन की हताशा तो हम जानते ही हैं। जब से 5 अगस्त को श्री राम जन्मभूमि का भूमि पूजन हुआ है, 500 वर्षों की एक यात्रा समाप्त हुई है। कांग्रेस ने जिस प्रकार से इसमें रोड़े अटकाने की, श्री राम के अस्तित्व पर सवाल उठाने की, राम जी को तुम कौन से कमरे में पैदा होने की जुर्रत करने वाले मणिशंकर अय्यर जैसे लोगों ने इसमें बहुत रोड़ा अटकाने की कोशिश की। और इसीलिए जब से ये भूमि पूजन हुआ है, जब से ही फैसला आया है, तब से रोम भक्ति में लीन कुछ लोग, रोम भक्ति मतलब कोई जगह का नाम नहीं है, ये एक विचारधारा, तुष्टीकरण की रोम भक्ति में लीन नासिर हुसैन और इनकी जो पूरी की पूरी मंडली है, वो मातम मना रही है। पहले भी मातम मनाया, इनके कुछ लोग कोर्ट में भी गए, उसके बाद और भी मातम मनाया, पिछले साल भी मातम मनाया, इस साल भी मातम मनाया, क्योंकि मूलतः हिंदू आनंद जी, इन्होंने हिंदुत्व को लेकर इस प्रकार की बातें महंगाई की रैली में की थी, हिंदुत्व को आईएसआईएस बोको हराम कहा था। ये वही मंडली है जिसने हिंदुत्व कहा था।
Well, Shehzad, I'm losing the audio with you, but Nasir Hussain, would you want to respond to the BJP? The BJP is saying that this is your politics of hatasha and nirasha.
See, again I will say, neither Shehzad Poonawalla, nor Amit Malviya, nor any of the spokespersons of Bharatiya Janata Party, neither Narendra Modi ji, nor any of the MPs, including the finance minister, have answered any questions on inflation, price rise, GST, unemployment and poverty. We are sticking to our basic questions. They are trying to give a spin, trying to bring religion here, trying to bring temples here, trying to bring some auspicious days here. They can give any spin, whatever they want. They want to divide this country on the basis of polarization, on the basis of communal lines. Whatever they want, they will do. We will stick to the basic issues that we have raised. GST on doodh, dahi, atta, chini, good and all these items. Petrol, diesel, gas ke daam, Agnipat, unemployment and all these issues.
There are arguments and counter-arguments, Nasir Sahab. There are arguments and counter-arguments to that. Thank you for speaking with us. We'll try and see if we have the BJP still with us on the phone line. But right now, I have Mr. Somnath Bharti of the Aam Aadmi Party with us on the phone line. Somnath ji, namaste. Prime Minister Narendra Modi ne revdi culture, freebie culture ke baare mein, he has made a very strong comment saying this is politics of selfishness. It can give you short-term gains, but it does not solve the problem. It only leads to long-term issues.
See, I fail to understand why Mr. Modi is so hell-bent on, against the free schemes which the government does for the people who can't afford otherwise. In fact, today itself I was saying that Honorable Chief Minister of UP, Mr. Yogi Adityanath ji, has announced that he's going to be doing a free bus service for the senior citizen and the ladies. I don't understand. Are they not in term with each other? Are they not talking to each other? Because Mr. Modi, what he says, Mr. Yogi opposes, all that. So let them be first on the same page, number one. Number two, one second.
Okay, please complete, yeah. The BJP tried to draw a difference between welfare and freebies. It's two different aspects altogether, so that's what they try to draw the line. Shehzad is there, so he'll respond. Yeah, please complete first.
10 lakhs crores of rupees. These in the name of incentives have been given to people like Vijay Mallya and all that. What are they? What is that? Is that not freebie? That is killing the Indian economy. In fact, in Hindi we call it जो जिसका खाता है वो उसका गाता है. आम आदमी पार्टी की शख्सियत बनी आम आदमियों से, तो हम उनकी सेवा करते हैं. उनकी शख्सियत बनी है खास आदमियों से जो टैक्स की इवेजन करते हैं, जो जनता का पैसा खा लिया, 10 लाख करोड़ खा लिया, उनकी सेवा करते हैं.
जो जिसका खाता है वो उसका गाता है, आपने कहा. सोमनाथ जी शहजाद से पूछते हैं, शहजाद पूनावाला जी पूछते हैं. शहजाद बताइए.
Anand ji, first of all, I ask you on your channel, in the next 1 hour, call Somnath ji and me both to your channel, and the claim Somnath has made that 10 lakh crores has been waived off If he can't prove it, he should quit, or else I will show him how 8 lakh crores has actually been recovered from the bad loans, and to call loans which have been written off, which going to be recovered.
You know, you have already...
Anand, can I complete? Anand, now you
please complete and then Somnath ji respond. Yeah, आप दो ही हैं.
I hope one at a time we can speak. Anand, I hope Samajwadi Party Neta can allow courtesy. So to call written off loans as loans that have been waived off, it shows that how much knowledge of finance and CA and IRS they have. But having said that, Anand, I just want to throw one question at Mr. Somnath. They say free shiksha. Do you know in the last 8 years, instead of opening 500 schools which they promised, they have shut down 31 schools. If not, Somnath can name 5 new schools they've opened and 3 new hospitals. They said they will open up hospitals, forgetting opening up hospitals. There has been no new hospitals. Please name 5 new schools and new hospitals you have opened up where this free shiksha and free swasthya is being given. In fact, in Punjab's PGI, the free health which was being given, free health services, that has been stopped because they could not pay 16 crores to the hospital for their outstanding. This government of Delhi, which says that we will give jobs, 10 lakh jobs, ke badle they get 3246 jobs as per the RTI report. This government which says that we will give free water has not even given free water proper connections to most of the households, because of which they have to still go with tankers.
Let him respond.
Yes.
So जो वादा किया वो ना निभाया है, but इसमें स्टेट को कर्जे में डुबाया है. So net that's the counter, Somnath ji. And your allegation of 10 lakh crores written off and waived off में फर्क है.
You are also helping Sajad ji to sort of form up his opinion. See, the problem is that today, rather than learning from good governance model of Arvind Kejriwal, the way he has put the state's resources to empower the common man, there is all attempt from BJP side only to keep countering and bringing negativity and saying lies after lies. I don't understand what's going on. Across Sajad ji, one second.
I want the names of the 5 new schools
I gave you. You asked me, I gave you time.
Where are the 5 new schools?
आप दोनों फोन पे हैं. अगर आप एक दूसरे के ऊपर बोलेंगे ये सिर्फ शोर आएगा, कोई नहीं सुनाई देगा. तो सोमनाथ जी आप अपनी बात पूरी करें. Then Shahzad, please counter. I'll take a break only after that. Okay. Yes, Somnath.
What I'm saying, Sajad ji, what I'm saying, see, world over, not only in India, across the world, many presidents, many prime ministers, including the UN Secretary General Kofi Annan ji, they came to the country. President of the United States, wife of his, she opted to see the education system of Arvind Kejriwal. Everybody is saying, why you are denying? Education system which has been improved drastically in an unimaginable manner. The poor people, they are shifting their children from private schools to Delhi government schools. Middle class also shifting their children from private schools to Delhi government schools. 2 lakh children. 3 months ago, I had the report. 2 lakh children shifted from private school in Delhi to Delhi government schools. That is the proof. What more proof do you need? Today in Delhi, sir.
What more proof?
Today in Delhi, sir, in the name of health. In the name of... One second, let me complete the health also. In Delhi hospitals...
30 seconds and then Shahzad, please.
Yes. In Delhi hospitals, this tertiary level of health infrastructure which we have built, Mohalla clinic, polyclinic and hospitals, not a single penny any Delhiite has to spend on their health needs. It is all done, it is all taken care of. Today, around 15,000-20,000 rupees per month, every household in Delhi, is getting back from their own taxes. This is all best utilization of taxes, basically.
Right. So you're saying that your welfare actually works. Now, welfare and freebies, there is a line that needs to be drawn between the two, is something which I think everybody has to appreciate. But Shahzad, quick counter. You wanted to challenge the facts presented by Somnath Bharti.
Yeah. Anand, I asked Mr. Bharti to name 5 new schools they started or 3 new hospitals. He went on to Kofi Annan and Donald Trump's wife. But having said that, let me tell you what they've done in schools. 700 schools, Anand, in Delhi. No, please, Anand, this is not an ad slot. Anand, this is not an ad slot. Please remind Mr. Bharti. Mr. Bharti, this is not an ad slot. Please let me complete. Anand, in 700 schools, 11th and 12th, no science, no commerce is being taught. 745 schools have no principal. 418 schools have no vice principal. The 9th standard, the dropout rate is 40%, so that they are not sent to the 10th standard, because in case they go and fail there, their record will become bad. EWS students, 40,000 seats have still not been filled. Delhi High Court has chastised the Kejriwal government for it. In the school room construction, they have done route of 5 lakh rupee rooms being constructed for 28 lakh rupees. This is their Delhi ka Shiksha model. Mr. Somnath Bharti can't name 5 new schools he has built in the last 8 years.
The point is building schools. My point, gentlemen, is we've digressed from the issue. The issue is of free bijli, free pani, free everything. Building schools for education is part of the welfare aspect. When you try and give everybody everything free, that's when it becomes a freebie culture and you make it a poll promise to get votes. So there is a difference between Revdi and there is difference between what you have to do as part of Jan Kalyan. This is something which I think both of you would understand. We'll take this debate forward, but for the moment I'm compelled to take a short break. So Shehzad Poonawala and Somnath Bharti, thank you very, very much for your patience and also for putting forth your views in a manner which all of us could comprehend. The debate rages because of the Prime Minister's statement. Not just a jibe at the Revdi culture, but more importantly, the Jadu Tona Kala Jadu jibe at the Congress party over their Black Friday protest. Listen into what he had to say as we take a short break.
हमारे देश में भी कुछ लोग हैं जो नकारात्मकता के भंवर में फंसे हुए हैं, निराशा में डूबे हुए हैं। सरकार के खिलाफ झूठ पर झूठ बोलने के बाद भी जनता जनार्दन ऐसे लोगों पर भरोसा करने को तैयार नहीं है। ऐसी हताशा में ये लोग भी अब काले जादू की तरफ मुड़ते नजर आ रहे हैं।